Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Josh and Jason Monday Christian and Conspiracy Podcast Show. I am your host, Josh Monday. And if you don't know me, I'm a Christian rapper, devoted husband, Army veteran, and a father. And I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, Jason Monday. He's a devoted husband, a father, and a Christian. What's going on, brother? And he's also the coach of a football team right now, guys. That's one thing that he's coaching his son. But anyways, Jason Monday, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, they're I don't know if you call it a full team. It's just flag football, but they're doing really good, man. I'm really proud of them. My son's doing good. All the kids are starting to pay attention. It's not an easy job herding sheep like this, but it's these little kids are like
herding cats or what?
They just don't want to listen. They're like, they're very temperamental. If they don't get a nap or they're like, don't have enough sugar in their body, they get it's weird. It's very weird. They're like, I'm like, here, line up right here. What? What are you talking about?
So I just wanted to add another thing to Jason's resume. And then we have a very special guest today. It's Kevin Reideler. Awesome, man. He is actually my brother's friend, and he is really, really knowledgeable, man. Every single time I bring up a conspiracy to him, he can come back and spit a lot of knowledge, and I love that. So what's going on, Kevin? How you doing?
What's up, Josh? Good to be here, man.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on. And guys, it is actually 10 o'clock at night, so we're doing a late broadcast, but it's going to be awesome and fun, man. So let's get into some Bible verses, man. We're going to go over some I'm sorry, I didn't even tell you guys what we're going over. Okay, so today we're going to go over Operation High Jump, and we're also going to go over Hollow Earth, and we're going to try to definitely relate it to the Bible as much as possible. So I know Kevin had some verses. I'm going to go over just a few real quick first, and then I'm going to let Kevin go over his. So I have Job 1:6. Job 1:6. Here we go, guys. This is going to be the King James Version. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it. So, guys, don't you guys think that God would have corrected Satan right there? Because God will not let people lie, especially in front of him. Why would God let Satan say that he went from going to and fro in the earth, walking up and down in it? So that is something that definitely relates to the earth being hollow or the devil being from inside the earth. Okay, guys? I would like to also go over, let's see, we can go over Revelation 9:1. Okay, guys, Revelation 9:1. If you guys want to turn there. These verses that I'm going to go over are going to be bottomless pit verses. Okay, guys. So it says, and the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit, and he opened the bottomless pit. So that is something that definitely would go with the bottomless pit or a hollow earth or inside the earth. And then also we have Revelation 3. It says, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth and the power, and it was commanded to them that they do not hurt the grass on the earth, neither the green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God on their foreheads. So that's talking about them coming out of the bottomless pit, the locust coming upon the earth. And there's a few different ones that talk about the bottomless pit, Revelation 17:8 also. And then one thing that we could talk about is the story of Lazarus. I can go over that really quick, and then I'm going to have Kevin go over his Bible verses. So the story of Lazarus is basically like there's a rich man and a poor man. The poor man, his name is Lazarus. The rich man ends up going to hell, and then the poor man ends up on the other side, which is Abraham's bosom. Lazarus is saying, can you please get a drink of water? Can you please put a drop of water on my tongue? To Father Abraham, can you please put a drop of water on my tongue? When they are in the earth, when they're talking about that, they're talking about them being inside the earth. And there's actually what would it be, like a valley in between them. So Jason, like Jason said,
like a gulf, like something like yeah.
There's a gulf in between them, but this is a paradise inside the earth, guys, in the earth. So I think that's a good way to relate it. And there's a lot of different Bible verses that you can kind of go over. Ephesians 4:8, if you guys want to study that. And there's also one in Revelation where they're talking about Apollyon. That's what I was talking about, the scorpions scorpion locusts coming out from the bottomless pit. So, all right, go ahead, Kevin. I know you had a few that you wanted to go over.
Actually, I do have Ephesians 4.
Okay.
So we'll do that one first. So Ephesians 4, actually I have 4:9. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? So
the lower parts of the earth, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of people that actually read the Bible and stuff like that, they're not associating hell as a physical place. They're associating as like it's some place that's just spiritual and it's in a spiritual realm. It's like, no, they're explaining to you, hey, is actually this is where this is at. This is where you go, you know, and it's pretty cool because like when you said about that verse with Job 1:6, it says that he came coming out of the earth and walking up and down it. So
yeah,
you can't walk around a globe and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's walking up inside the earth and down inside, like kind of like an elevator, inside, up and down it. So it doesn't say he's wandering around the globe or wandering around the sphere. One says that, and it's kind of
interesting. The interesting thing about that verse, guys, is if you look at any other interpretation of it, the NIV, any of them, all of them say on the earth. But the King James version, which is the one that the most legit that we feel, it says in. So that's the part that's pretty crazy because it seems like they try to adjust fire on it. Like, oh, it says in the earth. Well, let's make it on the earth instead because of science. So they're trying to go with that instead of what we know. What
it's like it doesn't matter how you interpret it. It's just the same thing. It's just not a big deal.
Yeah.
But you really send someone on the wrong doctrine. You know, they can follow the wrong doctrine because of that reason, or they can believe like, oh, maybe evolution is real.
Yeah, and we're reading out of the King James version too. So
yeah, and sometimes, guys, on the show, sometimes I do read out of the NIV. Sometimes I need to do that because some people that are probably listening, maybe they might be brand new Christians, maybe they might understand it good. And sometimes I do read out of the NIV. So don't get me wrong, guys. I'm just letting you know.
It doesn't matter if you're a brand new Christian or not.
I know the King James.
Hold on, before you go on, Josh, and stop with that phone thingy, bro. If you're gonna be taught something, you got to be taught the right way. I don't want to be taught, half butt. I don't want to be taught 80% about something. If something says something and something, and that's how it's rightly to be taught, I want to be taught the right way. I don't bake cookies taking out sugar and salt. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? I don't take that out. It's the cookies aren't going to come out the same way. You know what I mean? So I need my cookies to have everything that I want in my cookies.
I think the first part is making sure you're opening in that Bible.
Yeah. And then you can understand it about that. It doesn't matter.
For sure. He would do
okay. So the next one that I have is Philippians 2:10.
Okay. Yeah, this one is good. This one's really good. Go ahead.
Yeah. At the name of Jesus, every knee should bow, of things in heaven and things in earth and things under the earth.
Now that is an awesome one right there. Okay, guys. So that is basically saying that
that's
everybody in hell that are in the earth are going to bow. Everybody on earth is going to bow, and everything in heaven is going to bow. So that is very, very good verse.
You're saying inside the earth, like what else is in there? You know what I mean? What is inside that? That's why they say journey to the center of the earth. But what else is in there? Like, what is there just like other others. I don't know, maybe other. I don't know. I've never seen the Time Machine, that movie, the Morlocks, or whatever that is called. They
Oh,
used to
yeah.
all blue, like. What if that happens? I don't know. There'd be some weird stuff.
Well, there's obviously the locusts and scorpions are in there waiting to get. There's also fallen angels that are in the below hell.
Bind. Yes,
they're bind below hell, Jason, like to the deepest part. Right. Jay, what is that thing called? I can never get it, but in Peter, where they talk about, is it Tarsus?
No, yeah, TARDIS.
TARDIS. That's another one. Peter's talking about how the fallen angels that sinned in Genesis 6 are in Tartarus, which is like below hell. It's like the deepest, bottomless pit. So people, it definitely relates to the Bible, and I love it when we have something that we can talk straight from the Bible, and it relates to our.
That last verse that Kevin brought up, that's like saying right there, like, hey. I'm not lying to you, okay? Everyone else is gonna lie to you, but right there it's like saying, "Hey, look it! I'm telling you right now."
Yes.
Don't believe.
Amen.
I'm telling you, because I'm not gonna. God's never lied to me. He's never lied to me and told me a lie at all. Never.
So the way we think about it, okay. I just have to say this, okay? So our spirit is inhabiting our body right now, right? So even if, let's say, the hollow earth wasn't hollow, then hell could still be in the center of the earth because they're actual spirits, right? So that's another way to look at it, guys. But we're going to try to tell you guys the hollow earth theory. We're going to go over Operation High Jump. We're going to go over Admiral Byrd.
Byrd is interesting, bro. He's an interesting
guy. Okay, so we told you guys the Bible verses. Now we can kind of get a little bit into Admiral Byrd, because we wanted to talk about Operation High Jump. So, and Admiral Byrd is the main character of that. Okay. So, some of the stuff that I thought was interesting about Admiral Byrd is he went to Navy. He went to a Navy Academy, right? He did 4 years in the Navy Academy. And during the time that he was in the Navy Academy, he actually broke his ankle during gymnastics. And in the military, we're all about physical fitness, right? So he gets out of the Navy Academy. He does 4 years of active duty, and he is not getting promoted as a military member. And he's an officer, okay, guys. As a military member, I probably believe because his ankle was messed up. That's what they actually said in his biography. So he did 4 years of active duty, and then he gets out of the military, right? He gets out of the Navy. And he's not getting promoted like his buddies are. So he's probably getting frustrated. And then, this is just speculation. I know he's a Freemason, and he's actually a Master Mason. Okay, guys.
So you know that for a fact. That is definitely true.
Definitely true. So this is what he could have done. I don't know if he did 100%. He could have joined the Masons in the time that he was out of the military. Mm-hmm. Then he came back into the military, and he ends up being a 2-star admiral. Okay, guys, he ended up ranking all the way up to his 2-star admiral, guys, which means that he was moving up pretty fast and doing really well in his military career. And he was a Master Mason. I just have to let you guys know that before we get into the Operation High Jump, because as conspiracy theorists, that's very important for us to know. Yep. But go ahead, Kevin. Let's start off with the Operation High Jump and a little bit about, there's a few things too. I'm sorry, Kevin, I don't want to cut you off.
No,
one more thing, guys, before we start. This gentleman, Admiral Byrd, came from a prominent family. One of his family members actually discovered Richmond, Virginia. These guys are very popular in Virginia at the time. So popular that Admiral Byrd's brother, Harry Byrd, ended up becoming the governor of Virginia. And then he ended up becoming senator. Okay, guys. And he is, doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, but he ended up becoming a Democrat. And he ended up being a senator for 3 decades. Okay, guys. So these two guys, they ended up becoming very popular, and also Admiral Byrd ends up becoming the father of the Antarctica Treaty. So let's go over Operation High Jump now, guys.
Yeah, the treaty was officially signed in 1961. So okay. Operation High Jump was 1946 to 1947. So it was shortly after World War II. Okay. Now, Richard Byrd, he had been on other expeditions, quite a few really, exploring the Arctic. He did a flight over the Arctic in, I believe, 1926. And then he did another flight over the Antarctic in 1927. Now, both those flights have been contested by people to, they're not sure if he really did make it to the poles or not. But Operation High Jump was, like I said, 1946 to 1947. And they went down, it was a military expedition that they took 4,000 military personnel, basically entire carrier fleet with a submarine, 20 planes. So this was like a big deal. And, it was shortly after World War II. So, it's like, well, what are they going down there for? I mean, the war had ended. And to send military personnel down on a, scientific expedition just seems weird to me. I think they were going down there for other things.
Yeah. I was kind of pointing out the fact that they brought a submarine.
Yep.
They brought a carrier with 4,000 men. They have jets, or we're not, I don't know if they had jets at the time. I'm sorry. They had planes. They were ready. It sounded like they were ready for battle just in case. So it kind of does go along with what Kevin's about to get into right now on why.
I went through this stuff, these videos, this on YouTube. I was scrolled because I was looking for stuff on, Hollow Earth. And then at the bottom, like really, really far down there, was just a video of him speaking at a conference. He's talking, and he's like, his excuse was for all the military is like, we need to have military presence in Antarctica. This is a place where you have to have military presence. We have to have bases. We have to start them up now. We have to have people there now because this is an uncharted, untapped place where there's resources, there's oil, there's natural resources there. There's all this stuff. And he's like, we need to make it there. That was his excuse. But I think there's a lot more stuff there than.
And if he he's a Mason. So if he tells the secrets, he gets his tongue cut out. Go ahead, Kevin.
No. So, going back onto that, since it was a military expedition, and they pretty much claimed they were going down there for scientific reasons. A few years before World War II broke out, 1938 to 1939, the Nazis went down there to Antarctica and basically named it was called New Swabia, which they named after the vessel that they had gone down there in, but basically claimed some land down in Antarctica and made a military base. So it's interesting that, after, World War II, that they basically rushed this, military expedition together, 4,000 men, and go down to Antarctica. So it's like, were they going down there for the Nazis?
You brought up the Nazis. So what we got to tell you guys real quick about Hitler is he was into the Hollow Earth. Like he really, really was into it. He actually had his scientists studying the Hollow Earth. And he was enough to where he did send the people down to Antarctica. I think he was trying to find that power. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he was trying to find that occultish power. Yep. He was into the occult. So I believe that he was trying to tap into that other side and get power and technology, I believe, from the devil and demons. That's just my opinion. I know that one of his, I don't know the gentleman's name, but I know that one of his top ranking officials was very occultish and was into it. So, and I know that they also came up with methamphetamine to give their soldiers. And you guys know what happens with that, man. You end up so high and so messed up that you end up basically talking to demons and letting demons come in. So go ahead, Kevin. I just want to let them know about that the Hollow Earth was very prominent with these guys.
Well, yeah, and the Nazis were known to be, studying the occult. They had this society that Hitler was a part of called the Thule Society. You guys can look into that. It's pretty deep. It's pretty dark stuff. They were up in Nepal looking for artifacts. They were looking, the stuff that the Indiana Jones movies are about. I mean, that's stuff they were actually really looking for. But the Antarctic, they basically founded that New Swabia, like I said. And then Operation High Jump, they went down there from 46 to 47. Now it says that there was basically 5 main reasons that they went down for. At least this is from the military's standpoint later on. They went down for training personnel and testing equipment in frigid conditions, consolidating and extending the United States sovereignty over the largest practicable area of the Antarctic, determining the feasibility of establishing, maintaining, and utilizing bases in the Antarctic, and investigating possible base sites, and developing techniques for establishing, maintaining, and utilizing air bases on ice. And there was a few more smaller points, but it tells me that the military was really going down there to try to establish a base.
Yes. That was their thing. Okay. How long did Operation High Jump last? Do you know?
It didn't last that long. It was towards the end of 46.
Yeah, I think it was like only 3 weeks or 4 weeks, wasn't it?
Really short.
Okay. Let me tell you guys something.
Why were they calling it
Jason,
Operation High Jump, though? Why were they calling it Operation High Jump? What is it even?
One thing, Jason, let me get the point out about what I was about to say, and then you can jump on that. Okay. So listen, guys, if anybody knows anything about the Navy or military, the Navy does 6 months deployments. So I read up that it was supposed to be a 6-month deployment to Antarctica. They were supposed to do all this stuff, set up shop, set the bases up like Kevin's talking about, try to find a spot. So it was supposed to be a 6-month deployment. That's what the Navy does. So it ended up being cut short by 5 months, or maybe like
to set up that, just the logistics of 4,000 men has got to be, pretty incredible. And it seemed like they rushed it through, and to come back in just a month or two. Yeah. Something's up.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead. You can keep going on. Jason, you asked about why is it called Operation High Jump?
I know like they put these operations, like they put these weird names on them, like they're supposed to mean something, but why would you call it like that? Like, what are you trying to jump out of? What are you trying to get out of? Like,
exactly, the high jump.
A high jump. Are you jumping from? I don't think many people are jumping from planes back then.
They're probably jumping into the earth. That's why it's probably Operation High Jump. They were probably jumping into the earth. That's probably why it was called that. But they always put these little.
But now you can't fly over there. He must have found something. He's just like, hey,
Well, the hollow Earth theory too comes. Also, there was a supposed lost diary that was written by Richard Admiral Byrd.
Yes.
The diary was supposedly found in 1996.
Okay.
I believe like at Ohio University or something. And basically this lost diary, which is supposedly written by Admiral Byrd, talks about one of his flights over, I believe it was the actual Arctic itself, but that he flew into basically this hollowed earth, and there was a whole other land inside the earth that he talks about, which. Yeah,
he was flying, and then he went from ice, and then it ended up being green, right? Yep, and he saw like a woolly mammoth, and then also he saw a Nazi sign. And what happened is his magnetic, his compass started spinning in circles. And then they actually whatever was there, like actually took control of his airplane and ended up saying, Admiral Byrd, we're going to land you now. We've been waiting. He ends up landing they end up landing the plane for him. He said he didn't even touch the controls at all. And then he ends up going down and talking to their ascended master.
Yeah, the ascended masters, which to me, guys, that's like fallen angel stuff, man. For me,
it's very new age. Okay, that's what it is. Ascended masters is very new age. So what happens is new age would call Jesus an ascended master, Buddha an ascended master, Satan an ascended master, anything that has to do with something that's being worshipped, basically, or something of very importance, so that is very new agey. So when I heard that, I thought it was very interesting. But yeah, so he went down to talk to the ascended master or the master of their hollow earth, I guess, right? So
and yeah.
Go ahead.
If this diary is real, I mean,
yes,
there's contested debates that this is just a scam, but it's very interesting. But when I hear the ascended master stuff, I think of the fallen angels.
Yes, and guys, here's the thing. This is a diary that some people feel is 100% real. Some people feel like it wasn't. But the thing about it is we believe in, we have to study the conspiracies. You know what I mean? That's what we're here for on the show. So
you also
we're
got to
gonna,
study credibility. Like, what?
yeah.
How credible was this guy? Pretty
Oh,
credible.
Admiral Byrd. He was
Yeah.
actually, they called him the father of the Antarctic Treaty.
Yes.
So they called him that because he had a lot to do with the Antarctic Treaty. Now, the weird thing about the Antarctic Treaty is he passed away, and then 3 years later, they voted on the Antarctic Treaty, and his brother, Harry Byrd, actually voted no on it, which is kind of weird. Like, maybe he knew something about it, like, hey, maybe he knew something that his brother was telling him
he for sure knew something. Definitely.
he knew something like, hey, this is not good. But then it's because a lot of people that are flat earthers would say, well, it's because they found the firmament. And then some people would say that are hollow earthers, it's because they don't want any of us to know that the earth is hollow. And there's a lot of reasons why I think that they wouldn't want us to know the flat earth or the hollow earth, because the Bible states that there's a firmament. The Bible states that hell is in the center of the earth. And the scientists and all the elites, they don't want us to know that we were created by God, and that the earth was created by God, and that we are more than just evolved species. You know what I mean? So they don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know that the faith of a mustard seed can move mountains.
I know, but it's not the elite. It's not that. It's not the Jesuits.
It's the devil. I know.
It's the devil. That's it. It's the devil.
It's Satan.
You get that?
I know.
When you start man is too stupid to think of ideas like this. They're too dumb to think of it. They're not going to think of stuff like this. The devil's like, you have to do it this way because now you discovered something you weren't supposed to discover. Now you got to pay the price. Yeah, Admiral Byrd probably got moved up the ranks really fast. Maybe he's probably still alive. I don't know.
No, he was born in like 1888.
I know, but still.
Hey, if he's still alive, he's probably with Satan.
He's probably gonna come back.
He's in the hollow earth right now. Like, dang it, I should have never done this.
Check out the scorpions and locusts, man.
Anyways, yeah, guys. All right, go ahead, Kevin. Keep going, man. I'm sorry.
There's a lot of stuff going on right now that ties into the Bible, like end times theories and revelations. But right now, it seems like man is trying to bring that on more faster than ever. Like back then, people were very God-fearing, like, no, we don't want his judgment. Don't ask for that. And these guys are like, bring it on, big boy.
Remember, it says in the Bible that in the end of days, knowledge will be increased.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah. I'm knocking on that veil, dude. I'm trying to tear through that veil, man. Let's see what's on the other side. Oh my
yes. So guys, so the spot that we were at, we were basically saying that he ended up talking to the ascended master, right? He said, we've been waiting for you, Admiral Byrd. So it's, and he saw I think he saw a craft with a Nazi swastika on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that's very interesting. So,
yeah, but why would you use the term ascended masters?
Yeah. Oh, he's saying that because it's like the leader, like the master or the leader.
Okay. Then you just say, I met the leader.
Excuse me. Yeah.
I met the ascended masters or master. That's like saying like, whoa, man, like you gotta read, you gotta learn what people write. But like God's doing the same thing. He writes the stuff, you're reading like, okay, I take it that way. This guy's using his words to let you know. I don't know, secretly, or let you know, like, or maybe he messed up, or maybe somehow he wrote it and that's what it came to him. Ascended master. That's a term that you don't just come up with yourself, like.
Another thing I gotta say too, Kevin. I was listening to this guy. His name is True Ott, I believe, and he was saying that he interviewed a gentleman that went on Operation High Jump, and that they actually got into a firefight with like UFO coming out of the water. I don't know if you heard that before.
That was a big reason why it didn't last that long. Is they had to come back. They basically had to retreat.
They got their butts kicked, I heard. Yeah. And there's also people that believe that Hitler never died in like how they said he died. And that he ended up going down to Antarctica and he escaped. And also his whole fleet ended up escaping. And some people actually do believe that the Nazis won the war and didn't lose. So, and that we're still under the Nazi regime. So there's a lot of stuff out there, guys. I mean, I'm not going to say yes or no to that. I mean, we're getting treated like Nazis right now. So, I mean, just like, like the way that our society is running, our government is running right now is they're trying to Nazi us right now. So who knows? But I just want to put that in there, so you guys understand about that,
Well, and it's a known fact too. After World War II, a lot of the top Nazi officers went to South America, which
Yes.
Argentina and Peru aren't that far from Antarctica.
So there's actually one of the Nazi scientists that ended up escaping there, and he ended up trying to. There's like blonde hair, blue eyes. There's actually a part of South America that has blonde hair, blue eyes. So
twins.
and he ended up. He was a eugenist.
Joseph Mengele. He was a
geneticist. There we go.
Yep.
And so that actually happened. So there's some interesting stuff, man.
I think the town is in Peru somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know
and
the
there's
name of the
blonde hair,
town.
blue eye coming out of there, and that they were trying to make blonde hair, blue eye. Do you have any information on the Nordics, Kevin? Have you heard of them? They were like giants that were blonde hair, blue eye, and the way that the Nazis.
Anything that was the Aryan race that the Nazis were trying to basically create was this master race, and then they did call them the Nordics through the Thorpe Society.
There you go. So there was like Marita, I can't remember her name, Blokovitz or something. I don't know how to say her name. So that's how all that came from.
That's DNA messing with me. That sounds like again fallen angel stuff to me too. That you're messing with people's DNA. You're trying to. How do I know that in the Bible that because it says Joshua didn't defeat that. He did not wipe out. He was unsuccessful at wiping out that line. So the Rephilim are part of the Nephilim. They are distant relatives of them. You can read in the Bible. It says it all through the Bible about the sons of Anak, the Goliath, all that stuff. Okay.
Well, remember too, they were on the earth before and after the flood.
Yeah. And they were, and it says that they were old men of renown, which means we don't have to talk about these guys because we already know who they are. That's why in the Bible, they're not explained that much because you don't have to go tell the people written in the Bible back then that these were there. They knew it.
They knew it. Yep.
They don't want to talk about them because there'd be nothing to be messing with. So when you start doing that, their bloodline I feel like that is a crucial part of the Bible is that bloodline because it talks about it through Genesis. It goes all the way through through Exodus. It goes through, it just keeps on going through. And it's like, okay, well, and then now you got that going on now, like people trying to change our genetics, trying to mess with forming us with monkeys or trying to, tap that code where that missing link type of thing. And it's like, it's out there,
Trying to mess with the DNA. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Those stories are all through the world, not just in Israel. They're all through the world and in India now, not even recently.
Another thing that's all through the world are all through the world and also religions is the hollow earth. Okay. So there's Jewish canonical scripture. I'm not talking about the Torah. Okay, guys, Jewish extra canonical scripture that are talking about the Messiah will come from below the earth. And they also mention creatures that live in the center of the earth. And also the garden. They also say, I know, Jason, listen, I'm going to tie that in. Hold on, Jason.
At the bottom of the earth, they're going to be like,
hold on, dude.
Got it wrong the first time. See, we were right.
It's going to all tie in, dude. Because the Buddhists also talk about a paradise below the earth called Shambhala inside the earth. And they have a savior that are going to come with the army from inside the earth and free the world from tyranny. There's also Mormon gentleman named Rodney Clough. He's a leading hollow earth researcher. And he's also another one that says that they're going to come, that they're going to be an army coming from inside the earth and they're going to come free the Mormons and take them to whatever planet they're supposed to go to. American Indians, they also talked about hollow earth. Greek philosophers also talked about hollow earth. So there's a lot of different religions that talk about it. And a lot of them talk about a Messiah or a king coming from inside the earth. Now, how do we relate that to the Christian religion? Just like my brother was saying, the Antichrist and the fake Messiah will come from inside the earth. Okay, guys, which means they're coming from hell. not from heaven. So they're mistaking heaven from hell, basically, when they're doing.
And not
Go
only
ahead,
that,
Jason.
when they put that on that level, they're gonna be like, okay, so in the old rabbinical teaches through the Torah is Jewish people do not get it the first time; they always get it the second time. So when they miss out on the Messiah, they're not going to recognize their affliction and what they did. They're going to go, see, we were right. This is the Messiah. Look at him performing all these miracles. Look at him doing all this stuff. Ha 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 ha. We were right. And the devil's going to be like, no, you were wrong, but I got you. Okay. You guys are screwed now. It doesn't matter. And the ones that did, recognize their affliction, God will, bring them through their tribulation. They'll have to go through that, but the church is gone. Hey, sorry, I'm not worried about it. I will be raptured. And if I'm not, then that means I got to learn a lesson just like they do. And I'll have to go through
Okay. So I was saying this because my uncle, he was asking me, do I believe in the pre, the mid, or the after? Now, what my response to that would be that we all deserve to go through the rapture or the tribulation. Sorry, because we're all sinners, man. So if it's pre, I hope to God and Lord, please let it be pre. But if it's not, I totally understand why it's not. Because we're all.
God didn't rescue Noah from the flood.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you understand.
Yeah.
Look at that. But he only rescued 8 people out of 7 billion. Okay, so. Like he says, the road is narrow, it's not wide. And when you start believing these other fairy tales about, there's a globe, God didn't create Earth, it was a big bang, evolution is real, but you start believing that's a slap in the face to God, first of all. And that's a pretty high and mighty, like you're so smart, how this place was invented. Then how come you can't find out that particle that invented us? Why can't you find out the glue that's been holding us all together? Where's your information on that? Oh, no, don't worry, we got that. It's coming up. Don't worry. It's just funny to me. If you're not going to believe in God, but you're going to believe in some mythical fairy tale from another thing. Josh, did you freeze? I think Josh froze right now.
No, I'm not froze.
Can you hear me, Kevin?
Yeah, he froze.
Oh, did I? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello?